underground dialogue. We gon' tell the truth, we ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are, do we bow? No. Not at all, dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall underground. Underground dialogue. We gon' tell the truth, we ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are, do we bow? No. Not at all, dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. From the industry to the Oval Office, we expose the darkest motives of them all and disclose what the protocol is. Thinking and moving logical, stopping every maneuver possible, and apologizing for truth is not optional. We gon' help you with what you go through, reshape and mold you, and sweep over them weak lies they told you. If you living with no clue, we gon' deprogram the old you, and you get to keep your soul.
What up, man? It's your big brother, K-Reno.
This your boy, Keystone.
Y'all are tuned in again to another episode of the Underground Dialogue Podcast, where the name speaks for itself. And tonight, man, we have a brother who is an example of how God has transformative powers over the human being if you only seek to go in his direction, man. This brother is an OG.
Yeah.
Southside OG, man.
For sure.
And he's seen it all and done 90% of it, man.
Yeah.
But now he's gone from being a brother who was out in the streets doing his thing to now he's in the streets doing his thing in the ministry.
Mm-hmm.
He's an author. He's done movies. He's done clothing. And y'all probably know him and from the legendary Southside Dancers, man. Y'all saw him on Apollo Theater. We got the one, the only Minister Joe Guinn is in the building. How you feeling, family?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. Thank y'all both, man, for the love and the support, man. Definitely.
Yeah, we thank you for your contributions to the hood. And when I say that, I say it in an affectionate way, because when I say contribution to the hood, you know, so many people have contributed through selling dope, through jacking and stealing and robbing, contributed in a negative way, contributed negative things, but you have turned this thing around and now you giving God's wisdom, man. Let's start at the beginning, bro. Like now let's get into your origins and where you're from and your upbringing and how was that and how that shaped you going in the direction you're going in.
Well, born and raised in Houston, a lot of people know right there off of Scott, right there by Cutler Middle School, there's some apartments called Soft Lawn. Yeah, that's why I was
really
there.
a beast.
Yeah. When I was there, when they had Soft Lawn palms, when they actually had the palm trees that was there, we was probably maybe about the 5th or 6th family that actually moved over there when they remodeled it. And then from there, man, had the gift of always entertaining, dancing and stuff, and never really took it as if it was going to actually take me anywhere and stuff. So I ran it through so many different dance partners, a lot of people that I met, a lot of guys that was active in the community, but we was doing us at that time.
Right.
Wasn't trying to hear the word. Wasn't no bad kids. I ain't never claimed to be no thug or trying to be a hoodlum or thinking that I was a bad boy. Man, I did meet some of the things I did I shouldn't have did. But when you don't have that father figure or that guidance, most of the OGs was the ones that seen something in you. Yeah. That was the ones that said, hey, boy, don't let me catch you doing this here, So that was the ones that I had to listen to, that I took a hold to. We had a guy named Prentice, and he was a guy, every time you see, give me $1, but he give you a wisdom after you give him $1.
He paid for the game.
Yeah. And I remember one of the guys was joking with him, and he said, Prentice, I'll knock you out. And Prentice said, boy, don't let your mama sit there and cook a good dinner for 3 and there's only 2 of y'all eat. And man,
that's how he respond.
Yeah. He always had a good comeback, man. But that's it, man. I was just truly blessed, man, to meet so many different people. Ran into you. The first time I ran into you was I was over there with me and Rico LeBlanc.
Oh, man.
And that's the first time I actually heard you rap. And it was you, who was that? I think it was, I want to say, who was that that was over there with you? I know it was you, Blizzak at the time. Yeah, I go by Massa Musa. I think he going by Andre now.
Yeah.
But it was quite a few y'all. Yellow, all of us was on there, man. The first time I heard it, I said, ooh, this dude cold. Yeah, I'm like, man, I'm glad, because I know when I used, back then, the dancing part, everybody's come get me and say, man, I got this dude. And man, so when I heard you rap, I said, "Ooh, thank God I ain't rapping like that." Yeah.
No, man, but you
Mhm.
know, you coming up in that area, man, and Houston is a special city,
Yeah.
but you know, we have those names that you mean Raw Palms and South Lawn and Western Square.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, we down there. It's like all those apartments was known for
Mhm.
being just notorious. You know,
Yeah.
you say you got there kind of when they had remodeled them, and
Like Palm
was it
Street.
bad over that end still?
No, it
Yeah.
wasn't bad at
So
all.
they had to look nice at one point.
Man, hey, you can basically eat off the ground. That's how
Yeah.
clean it was.
Wow.
That's why we had security guards.
Yeah.
And
Wow,
man,
security guards are something.
and South Lawn, I'm talking about, man,
Wow.
and it was two that worked, you know, every night. Then little by little, man, when that crack era came through, that seemed like, you know, the only people that was really selling was the OGs.
Yeah.
You know, they'd be in front of the store. You had two ladies that had a barbershop. Still got the barbershop there. And they would sit up there and you would see them old guys making money. And I think the influence was just to see them making money, how fast they was making it. And then everybody just little by little started picking up, started doing that. But when that crack season came, bro, it was just like, man, everybody was doing that.
Yeah.
You know, me, I didn't want to do the crack because I knew I wasn't like Whitney Houston talking about crack is whack or
Right,
nothing like
yeah.
that, but it was just a fact that I see how much time they was giving people.
Yeah.
So then I said, okay, well, man, if I did anything, I called myself for a little small part-time, called myself thinking I was, you know, a little weed dealer, you know.
Yeah.
And man, just went through my little season of just doing me. And then, you know, what really kind of got me out of it was I was looking up and there was some undercovers that was across the street. And they was always looking towards our way. And I'm thinking in my mind, man, somebody finna get busted. And I know I ain't gonna be one. I'm taking all my stuff, flushing it. And they wind up getting the dude next door. And I was like, man, I threw all this stuff away, but that was my warning. So I needed to make sure that, hey, that I listened to the warning. It said warning come before destruction.
Every
So
time.
they was to get him. What makes you think they weren't looking at me?
Right.
And so,
Right.
like I say, man, you know, I did my share. I ain't gonna never sit here and say I was good always. It took a situation to happen for me to make a turnaround.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about it, what made me get saved was I got saved in the club
Yeah.
at
Man.
Reminisce.
Man, club reminisce.
Club
What you
Rem-
doing at Reminisce to get saved?
Well,
Yeah.
actually, there was a young man by the named Apostle Bolden, Chris Bolden, was you know, he was a pastor. I didn't even know it. And but he worked in King's Flea Market. He was selling clothes. And so I used to go in there and buy suits and stuff. So every day, every time I came in there, he said, "Man, what you getting all these suits for? And you in the church?" I said, "No, man, you know, we be having parties." And we did a thing called Suited Up, Booted Up, you know. So all the guys come in suits, the women come in boots. And man, he said, "Well, the next time you go out, man, let me know and invite me." I said, "All right." So I invited him to come, and we was at this club. What's that? That's Diablos.
Oh, yeah,
Was
Diablos.
yeah. And then they had a lady named Trudy Lynn.
Yeah.
You know, she was in there, man, and she said, "I need 5
Performance.
guys, you know, to come." I go up there, man, and dance. Yeah. She was the background singer for Tina Turner. And man, I go up there and dance, and he seen something in me that I didn't see in myself. So he said, "Man, well, what else you do?" I said, "Well, man, I go perform over there sometimes at Reminisce. They had on Wednesday nights, I think they was having you know, like lip sync battle, you know, and stuff. So me, Willie Winters, and a couple other guys, we all compete against each other. And man, that night I was gonna go by myself, and something just said, "Hey, call homeboy, see if he want to go." I called Chris up and I said, "Hey, man, I finna go to Reminisce, see if you want to go." He said, "Man, I'll be ready in 5 minutes." I said, "God, dog, man, it gonna take me 10 minutes to get there."
Right.
I get there, man, we go in, and as soon as we go inside Reminisce, you know, we go straight to the bar. And I'm like, "Yeah, man, you know, let me get this here Hennessy on the rocks." And I'm like, "Man, what you drinking?" He said, "Well, man, I don't drink." I said, "Man, what you mean you don't drink? You know, you coming out with me, you ain't gonna drink nothing." He's like, "Nah, man, I don't drink." He said, "If you want me to have something," he said, "just give me a Coke." So I tell the bartender, I said, "Yeah, give him a Coke in a long glass, you know, make it look like he drinking." So as we sitting down, man, you know, women, they doing them and stuff. And there was one particular girl that was there. He asked me, he said, "What you think about this young lady that's up here dancing?" I said, "Oh, man, everybody know her. They done ran through and all this." He said, and it's kind of funny. He said that the spirit she operates in is the same spirit you operate in. at that time, I'm not thinking because I'm full of the drinks and stuff. I said, well, what you mean by that? He said, the reason why you know the spirit that she operates in is because maybe that same spirit that's in her is actually in you too. And at that time, I didn't want to say that because I didn't want to mess up the, the mood and stuff like that. So when they called me, I get up there, I dance and come back down. And, we went out up leaving as we leaving. I'm driving them home. And he said, well, man, now that I supported you, come support me. So I'm saying, well, what club you talking about hitting? He said, no, I ain't talking about no club. He said, man, I want you to come to the church. I said, I'm looking up. I was raised Catholic. So, I was like, you know what, man, I ain't been to church in a long time. Man, yeah, I'll go ahead and come. He said, but there's a twist. He said, man, I want you to come. I want you to mind dance. I said, man, I ain't finna do that, man. I said, man, you see how I dance, man. I'm all on the ground. All on my head. I'm not finna disrespect the church like that, even though I wasn't going. And he said, no. He said, man, I really believe that God will take all that out of you. So now I'm just trying to get him out the car. I'm like, all right, man. I say, hey, I get back with you, man. And before I knew it, on my end, he said, man, don't forget, man, Sunday, man, I'll let everybody know you're coming up there. I'm like, all right, man. That Sunday come, I'm driving this young girl to her house, and I'm telling her about the dude, he want me to come to my dance and this and that. And I look up, man, he calls. And he said, hey, man of God, man, I got everybody gonna be here. Man, we just can't wait to see you dance and this and that. And I know God gonna use you, tremendously. And I'm like, man, I ain't gonna be able to come. I ain't gonna even lie to you. He said, well, man, can you tell me why? I said, well, first of all, me and my partner having practice. He said, first of all, I never asked about your partner. I want to ask about you. And I said, well, man, I ain't rehearsed. He said, man, you had 7 days to call me and tell me this. He said, if nothing else, he said, I thought you was a man of your word. Man, when he said that, it seemed like, man, my whole chest had been pulled apart. Any other time, it would have never affected me like that. But when he said it and how he said it, I said, man, I'll be there. So now I've dropped the girl off and I'm riding. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. First thing I think about was Fiesta on Macau Road.
Yeah.
I go to Fiesta back then. That's when they used to sell them Dickies and stuff. I go and I get me a pair of black Dickies. And I'm like, okay, I get this here. And I said, well, I'm going through all my CDs. That's when we had the little album book. I'm going everything chopped and screwed, nasty and this and that. And one of the songs as I'm going through it, man, had Smoking Off or I Need You Now. I'm like, man, how this get on here? Man, I'm sitting here and I'm just listening. And as I'm listening, I'm so caught up into it, I got tears coming out my eyes. Lady come tap on the window, which was one of his ministers. She said, hey, the pastor said you don't wear makeup. So she had a mask and a pair of gloves. And like I said, okay, thank you. I said, I'll be there in a minute. So I get that. I'm like, man, well, how he know? I said, oh, he must have talked to the pastor, and the pastor probably said that.
Have you ever seen mind dancing before this?
Never.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I get to a point, I go in, he come down, hey, man of God, thank you for coming. Man, and then he said, let me show you where the restroom is. So as I'm in there changing, I look in the mirror and I said, God, you know how we do when we in a situation, we come to you and stuff. I said, well, God, all thing I asked you, I said, just let me touch one person. You let me touch one person, I'll be on the bandwagon. Man, when I said that, all of a sudden, man, I got the clothes on, got the mask on, and the mask was so tight. It was like one of them child masks, but it wasn't no full grown-up mask. So, but the mask stopped right here. So, as I get ready to come out the door, I see him, he getting ready to start the music. I say, hey, man, make sure you play that last one. Don't play nothing else.
Play Bust Down.
Yeah. So,
It's too short or something.
You ain't lying, man. And I took that first step when the music came on, and man, and I went blank. Didn't remember nothing. Only thing I remember, I was on the ground, my head was down, and when I raised up, I seen everybody, man, they were just praising God. People had fell out, and I'm thinking, I said, man, did somebody knock me out, and robbed us, and I don't know it. I still got the mask on, not realizing the mask is on me, and I could see him. He just, he clapping and saying, man,
you don't remember none of it?
I don't remember nothing.
Oh, wow.
And he said, man of God, you don't even realize just what you did. And I'm sitting there, I still got the mask on, I'm sitting in the front row, and he said, man, you really blessed us all. So I'm sitting there, and he said, by the way, he started preaching, and he said, by the way, I'm the pastor of the church. Man, I jumped up.
Man.
I said, man, what the hell are you doing in the club if you the pastor? He said, man, The scripture says, launch off into the deep.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you can't catch a big fish in a small pond.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I took that mask off and water just came down. That's from all the tears that was in my eyes.
Right.
And I said, he said, man, the only thing I ask you to do is give God 1 year.
Yeah.
He said, just be faithful and come to church, come to Bible study if you can. And he said, your tithes and offering. And he said, man, and if nothing in your life don't change, go back to doing you.
Right.
That first day, from after that point, I stopped drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Stopped clubbing. Everybody, man, what's up with going to the club? I said, nah, man, I'm chilling tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And I chilled for about 8 months. But I don't know how everybody else feel, but once you get saved, you want everybody to have that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand what a crackhead go through when they hit that first hit.
Right.
They looking for that second.
Maybe wait, you try this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And man, and as I'm sitting there, I'm trying to get everybody, but I was one of them Christians, once you get saved, you try to tell everybody now, man, if you don't do this here, man, God gonna strike you down and this and that. And God I was in the car and God said, hold on now.
Yeah.
Slow down. He said, you just got saved.
Right.
Yeah.
And I went to a point where I just sat down, didn't say nothing, just kept staying in my word. And man, it was just going through just all the stuff I went through. I had gotten to a point while I'm going to a barbershop, getting my hair cut. And it was a young lady that was sitting next to me. So I told her, hey, I'm getting ready to do an event. Man, would love for you to come. Never seen this woman in my life. I just knew she works, at H-E-B.
Mm-hmm.
Get there, man, and we started talking. And she said, I'm going to try to make it. The event was over with. I didn't see her.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, she called. She said, hey, how did everything go? Said, everything went well. I said, thanks for asking. And I asked her, I said, who is this? And she told me Kabbalah. So I never knew, how I couldn't remember how she lived, but I remember the name. And I said, hey, do me a favor, man. As we was talking, I said, send me a picture. When she sent me a picture, man, God told me that's your wife.
Wow.
Never had dated her. And man, and in the midst of all that, God said, tell her, that you're her husband. I tell her 1 month later, I wound up asking her mom for a hand in marriage. I asked her dad, I called him, he's in Louisiana, asked him, for his daughter hand in marriage. And then the last person was her son.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, if he say anything shady or crooked, it ain't gonna happen.
I'm out.
You know what I'm saying? And he said, man, you make my mom laugh. My mom always talk about you. He said, man, yeah, I would love for you to, to be, a part of the family. And my very first sermon that I preached was actually Easter Sunday. So I had all her family to come in. And when they looked up and I had my homeboy singing Ribbon in the Sky.
Yeah.
And man, when he seen that, she was like, well, why is he playing this song? And when she looked back, she seen all her family. And that's when I was on my knee and asked her for a hand in marriage. And man, from there, God was just showing me, hey, you finna go through some levels now.
Yeah.
Didn't realize in the same year that we got married, my wife would be pregnant. Went from being pregnant to having a miscarriage. From having a miscarriage to having a massive stroke 2 months later.
Yeah.
Couldn't walk or talk.
Mm.
And I'm saying, come on, God, man, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, this and that. Why would you put me in this situation? He said, well, I'm teaching you how to stay in the cut.
Oh, yeah.
He said, because you've been so used to when things happen, you pack up and you leave.
Mm.
He said, but I'm showing you what it means to have unconditional love.
Yeah, I remember I see somebody say, "Why do everybody think for better and good for good and better?
Yeah, for better and worse.
For better and worse, they always think the better come first.
Yeah.
Sometimes the worst come first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but man, God had to show me. He said, I'm showing you how to love unconditional. He said, and the reason why you're going to love unconditional because you first learn how to love me.
Mm-hmm.
And people sit back and say, well, man, it didn't take me to have to go through nothing, but it took me to go through something to get to the point to where I'm at. And that's why you start seeing the change in me. Like I said, and from that, man, little by little, man, I just started with the ministry in God's Hands. Ministry was a ministry to say I wanted to give people an opportunity. Didn't matter what lifestyle you was in, where you been. I wanted you to utilize that gift.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a young lady by the name of Miss Money. She came in and she was, living the homosexual lifestyle. Her hair was cut lower than mine.
Yeah.
She had on jersey, she come in, but she seen that song, I Won't Complain. and got on her podcast, and before you know it, she went from a whole transformation, from dressing like a boy to getting to a point to where she winds up, got her hair long, eyelashes, lipstick, and I'm looking like, man, look at her. And she said, why did you allow me to keep doing what I was doing, knowing the lifestyle I was living? I said, because I know the more you got this into you, something was gonna come out from it. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's how it came out to be, man. And just little by little, ran into so many different people. But that's just the icing on the cake. To be thankful for everything that God has placed in my life, and just being around everybody still.
Okay, we don't need no more questions.
Right.
You said it.
Right. But I love that, because what I was thinking about the whole time you were saying that is how, like, so you were never just out there crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But even when you just kind of just doing your own thing, people can have this thought that, he gonna always be like this.
Yeah.
She's gonna always be like this. And they don't really understand, the transformative power that God has to where you can see even the so-called lowest of the low. And then it be so amazing that you can't even believe. It's like, man, I never would have thought that guy or that sister would have ever came up to be in that. And to the point where people don't even believe it's true.
Yeah.
Nah, he gotta be a hustler.
Yeah.
Nah, he gotta be scamming. And nah, there's no way, because they knew who the world made you.
Yeah.
But they see, but who the world makes you can't compare to who God gonna make you.
Yeah, but you got to look at it like I said. The world didn't make you. You made yourself become part of the world.
Acclimated it to them. Yeah.
So what happened is just like, how they remember the old thing that people say, monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
If I see you doing it, oh man, I'm going to do it. So I'm going to right along with him. I watch so many pastors tear down people because of their old self. And this is why a lot of people not in church. We got to remember, man, in life, every last one of us has fallen and came short of God's glory. It don't matter where you at and what you done been through. You have time, because God give us a bunch of time, but your life is not too much of time. Because if you notice, all these young people now are dying early.
Yeah. And
it's not because they don't have no guidance. It's what it is that we done made everything so much access. With the internet, this and that, we thinking that because we got to have flashy things and this and that, and it's all about money. You can do something positive and maybe get 3 likes.
Come on.
As soon as you say something about, do this and do that, shake that, man, you got over 1,000 views, man. And it's like, and I noticed that even like on my social media site, I do a lot of inspiration, and a lot of time I might do some fun. I might do Martin with Hustle Man, and I got the birds, and and I watch them put more likes towards that than towards me just saying something encouraging.
Yeah.
Do you remember when KRS-One, he had the album out called Edutainment?
Yeah.
So he combined the education with the entertainment, and that's what we got to really actually do, because the people are so caught up in the allure of the entertainment side that even when you teaching them, you got to give them something. You got to put some sugar in it to kind of to draw them in. So I never seen how there was anything wrong with that. We just have to be real strategic in how we do it, because the unfortunate truth is that the people are really, really indoctrinated into the negative, or they indoctrinated into the senseless entertaining stuff that's not good for us. So we got to play the game to reel them in.
And that's what I kind of do. Not to cut you off. No. I do that, like when I do the mind dance, I put preaching on the front of it, and then I go into the song. But the preaching have a lot of humor in it. Like I got one called "Smelling Yourself."
Okay.
And it's a part on there where it says, "When I became a preacher, my mom told me, she said, I'm not tired of your mess." He said, "Mama, no weapon formed against me shall prosper." And I had it where a part where she takes us out for a bus. She said, "Yeah, and by his stripes you are healed." You know what I'm saying? And so that brings, people to laugh about it, but it also shows you, that, man, we can make these changes, but like you said, we got to sprinkle out some sugar just to get people to be involved. Like I tell people, we serious when it comes to us, when they're talking about money this and money that. But when you're talking about, hey, let me be a blessing to you by letting you, if you do poetry, you dance, whatever that you do, I let people do that in the ministry. And when I give them an opportunity, that gives them, because there's a lot of people that wasn't doing nothing. And I see them, I say, hey, man, I got a ministry. It's not a church. It's a ministry that to allow men and women to utilize their gift that they don't use in big churches. A lot of people ain't never been to the prisons. Man, I try to hit almost every prison from Wingate Unit to Beetle 1, Beetle 2, Pam Lynchner. And one of the guys that's actually my neighbor across the street was a part of the Aryan Brothers. His mom called me and said, can you come talk to my son? He's really going through. Now, I'm thinking I'm finna see a little short guy, little white guy. This dude here, man, about 200-some pounds, big old beard, got nothing but, hate on his arm and all that. And I'm like, oh, man, this lady got me over here about to get ready to start some, fighting and stuff. We go in there and he tells me everything about what he did to blacks and this and that. But he said, man, I want to change. He said, because a black man saved my life. When he said, when he had put out for this dude to go ahead and whoop this black guy, but the guy who he sent actually killed the black guy, wound up cutting his neck completely off. And man, he said from that, it did something to him. And he said he was hanging on the rail from the second floor, and the guys was hitting his knuckles to try to make him fall, to break his neck. And the black dude came over and saved him. And he said, why would he save me? He said, because, and I had mentioned it to him, I said, God put it on his heart to not see you die like that. And if I tell you, me and him have been the best of friends, and this man goes into the same prison that he was incarcerated in. One thing I tell him, I say, hey, whatever you do, don't mention the stuff that you went through, because the people that's in there, you don't never know who's kin to who.
Right.
And I said, let me tell you about forgiveness. There's a young lady that had wound up killing my uncle. It was big. It was on the news. And her name is Pamela. What is her last name? Pamela. Well, first name just Pamela. And I don't want to really put it out there like that, because people do crazy stuff.
No, that's Pamela's good.
Yeah. And Pamela was 17 at the time. My uncle was just getting ready to come in, and he got a call on the radio saying there was a young lady that was in Fifth Ward, needed to go to Galveston. So he said, well, he called his wife and told her, hey, let me go pick up this young girl because she's in a bad part of town, gets her to Galveston and don't know what happened after that. The young lady said she was high, full of ecstasy and all that. She shot him in the back of the head, pushed his body over and threw the jacket on top of her. For 3 days, she was riding around with him in the taxi, and the cop happened to wind up passing by and seeing her driving. It felt like, she was kind of young to be driving. Comes around and he knows that he sees red paint dripping from the trunk.
Yeah.
My uncle was in the trunk. He never knew that until he came and put her in handcuffs, put her in the back, and when he popped the trunk, that's when he seen my uncle.
Oh, wow.
She spent like 37 years, but she did so much positive in the prison. She got where people can get their GED, the high school diplomas, and stuff like that. And I wound up reaching out to her when she got out. But I had asked everybody in my family, I said, have y'all forgiven her? And everybody say, how can I not forgive her when God been forgiving me every day? So my whole family was cool with forgiveness. So my thing was to reach out to her. I seen her on Facebook and I said, hey, was you the young lady that was incarcerated? She said, yeah. And I said, well, the man that you killed was my uncle. I'm the nephew. I said, I just wanted to let you know that my family forgive you. She sent me an emoji, of a crying face. And I said, just want to let you know, you ain't never got to worry about us trying to, revenge and all that. And man, she got to a point, she disconnected. I don't know if somebody told her, girl, don't trust, because she just got out of prison. So it's a possibility somebody could have said something that made her kind of spook,
Fall back a little bit.
Yeah, but just the fact is that she knows that, you know. And man, and that was my first time ever having real true forgiveness in my heart. And that's why I tell people, man, you ain't doing it for them, you're doing it for yourself. Have that forgiveness, man. If I can forgive a young lady that went through, she did 30 years, what more do you want from her?
Yeah. And and like I say, not to justify it or make it better anyway, but sometimes we do stuff at a young age that we just don't process.
Yeah.
And so the version of her probably 5-10 years after she was incarcerated, was probably nowhere near the version of her that committed that act. And what happens is some people grow out of that mentally. Some people never do. Some people get in there and get worse.
Yeah.
So God still has something that he put on her to transform her, just to have remorse and regret, to make me feel like, you know what, I was young and I did something real, real stupid, but it is what it, but I think regardless of, even if somebody may have said to her, hey man, that's that man, family, don't get too close to that. I still feel like it was a good thing for her to hear y'all say that. Let's get into the other side of the game as well, because we'll be remiss, man, if we didn't talk about the South Side dancers.
There we go.
See, the thing is, man, for y'all that don't know, these brothers, they did something that we thought couldn't be done.
Yeah.
And during the Showtime at the Apollo days, man, I just remember watching that show, and anybody that wasn't from New York, as soon as you come out, they say, hey, where you from? Oh, I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. Man, this brother here, along with our great brother Stu Baby, may rest in peace, did something that made them legends in the hood.
Amen.
They went to Showtime on the Apollo. And how many weeks did y'all win?
Won 5 weeks in a row. The crazy thing about it, how they do it, you do 3 shows in one night.
Yeah.
In front of the same audience.
Right. Wow.
And, so, man, being on there is not, people who ain't never been there, the Apollo is really not that big. The stage is real small, but it's just the open. I mean, it's a real nice place. You get a chance to go downstairs, see, all the people handwriting and, the people who had been there before you. And in the midst of all that, man, we can see everybody who we're going against. And we're like, oh, man, we got this. We wasn't being cocky, but it was just like, we was confident in ourselves. Man, oh, no, we got this.
How'd y'all even get there to the Apollo?
Back then in the days, they had Rushion McDonald, who was Steve Harvey's and Cedric Entertainer manager, had a club down here called a Hip Hop Comedy Stop. That was off of South Main.
Anybody ever tell you Favor said?
Maybe not.
I just noticed it.
And so in the midst of that, man, I went in with a group. It was called Men of Essence, and I started off singing. And when we went there, Rushion said, man, everybody coming here doing the same songs. You got to come with something different. So me and Stu was still dancing, even though I was in the singing group. So me and Stu, we put a routine together. I said, man, let's go down there. I said, man, we got a chance to win this here because everybody's singing. We get there and we win, and we kept winning and kept winning and kept winning. And Rushion said, hey, look, I don't want the people to think this a gimmick, or there's something set up.
Much.
He said, yeah, what we'll do is have y'all start opening up for the, the comedians. And we started opening up for the comedians. They had a young man by the name of Terry Grossman was the
Grossman.
Grossman, man, was a character.
Yeah,
and I watched so many of the guys come up, and man, and one day I called Rushion, just out the blue. I said, hey, man, what y'all got coming up? He said, man, I'm glad you called me. He said, man, Miss Maxine Lewis, never forget this lady. She said she's coming down and she needs 5 people to come in for the Apollo. We went there, man, and so that all the winners who they ever had, they brought them all back. So it was over 50 people that was performing. We was the only dance group. So when we got there, got the dancing, Stu Baby knew that we was number 1 to get picked because he had looked over to Miss Maxine Lewis' shoulder and seen the South Side dancing. Man, and all of a sudden, man, they called us first, but then we had to find a way to get ourselves down there.
Oh, they don't pay your way?
No, they didn't pay our way. So we did a little car wash and stuff, Everybody to go to AutoZone, you're out there washing cars. And we came up with, a few dollars, and one of Willie Winters, his wife was working for Greyhound.
Yeah, that's Lil Mud's brother.
Yeah, man, and we wound up catching, it took about 3 days to get there.
Oh, so y'all didn't even fly?
We didn't fly. But the crazy thing about it, that wasn't my first time ever been on Apollo.
Yeah.
It was?
The first time I was on Apollo, you ain't gonna believe yourself. Showtime,
Yeah.
the rapper.
Showtime, they've always come up.
Look, man, let me say, Showtime. It was me, Showtime, K Swift, and Rico.
Oh wow.
We was the actual dancers. It was supposed to be Irvin Jones was my actually original partner, but he wound up going to prison. And when he went to prison, me and Rico started dancing. Then me and Stu Baby started dancing. Stu Baby went on me on the last one. Me and Rico went out there, and we get out there, man, we kill it. So the second show, we wind up, we kill that, but then we come back home, didn't realize we were supposed to stay. Yeah. So we missed out on that, and but that was my actual first time actually going with them, man. But when me and Stu went on the last show, I guess because, you know, it was something new to us. So when they seen the Southside hats, everybody was like, man, give me your autograph. So we filling out autographs. And when we get back, Stu, he excited, man, bro. I said, calm down. Let's get this last one out the way.
Yeah.
And we ran out of money. So we were about to get ready to come on. I called Rushion McDonald, man. I thank God for him. I said, Rushion, I said, I got good news and bad news. He said, well, what's the good news? I said, we won, man. He said, well, what's the bad news? I said, we ain't got no money for this room. He said, as long as you win, I'll keep paying.
Yeah.
He called the people, man, and put us up for another 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah, man. And man, when I looked up and we get out there, we rubbed the little log. We come out there and Stu was blank for some reason. He, you know, when the people ran up to the stage, you already say, oh, I done made it, bro. I'm here.
Yeah.
And Stu, when the song came on, Stu mind was just focused on the win, but he was like, hey, y'all, what's up there?
Yeah, right.
And man, I'm dancing and I turn around and look, I say, what in the world is he doing? He just started talking. So I made it seem like this was a part of the, you know, the act. So I touched him, I said, you know, and man, they were trying to boo us, man. But the ladies kept us going, man. The lady
the dudes were trying to boo?
Yeah, they were trying to boo us, man. And that was the first time that they ever had somebody actually come off the stage.
Yeah.
I came off the stage and went into the audience dancing with, you know, if you go to the 1994 Showtime dancers, Showtime dancers on Apollo, you'll see me actually come wearing black Dickies. You'll see me come off the stage, man. I'm dancing, man. But after that, man, after they tried to boo us, we lost against this dude that was rapping from New York.
Yeah, of course.
And we get downstairs and Stu Baby, he get to flipping. He say, man, we messed up. I said, we?
Yeah.
We didn't mess up. You messed up. I said, what you think? He said, man. And he just started throwing chairs, and that's when what's his name that played on Martin Hustle Man? Yeah. He say, say, bro, I know you don't know me like that. You need to talk to your boy and calm him down. And man, I'm like, you know, so I go in there and calm him down. And New York, before, they had Uber, but the Uber was different. It was called Night and Day. So you had to call them because no cabs wouldn't come to Harlem at that time of night. So I call, man, I'm mad. It's snowing. The dude stop. Hey, Night and Day? Yeah. We get in. I'm in the front seat, Stu in the back with the manager. They go back and forth. They argued. I'm like this the whole time.
Yeah.
And so he said, man, we messed up. We both looked at him, messed up, you know. And
so this was after y'all had already won a bunch of times.
Yeah.
So Stu Baby was like, man, we supposed to win forever. Like we gonna win 105 years.
No, 5 weeks is a good run.
Yeah.
On Apollo?
Yeah, Apollo.
You ain't from New York?
Exactly.
So we the only group, the dance group, that actually have won that many times.
Yeah.
You know, so
y'all might be, and correct me if I'm wrong, y'all might be among the most winners, period. You know, 5 times.
Well, the thing about it, they were showing all the top winners, but we weren't even a part of that.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, but, you know, I can't trip about it, you know. You know, unfortunately, you know, we don't have Stu Baby here, you know, with us. Definitely praying for him and his family. You know, it was a hard thing because when I found out the news that Stu Baby had got murdered, I was on my way to Louisiana with my wife because her sister got caught up in a house fire.
Yeah.
You know, so we're going from one funeral coming back to another funeral.
Yeah.
And his mom, she really didn't want to actually have, homegoing service. She just wanted to just basically get him cremated. But I said, no, let's do something for him. And wound up doing that. But then I also had a private service for him as well. For the people that knew him, and grew up with him, how did you meet Stu, baby? So it was a lot of laughter and stuff that we had, with Stu. And the crazy thing about it, before Stu died, he was actually supposed to come to the church to come preach.
Yeah.
Oh
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Stu had made the transformation. He was coming.
He was coming. Yeah. Because Stu had already preached, but this would have, other people been like, man, I gotta see what Stu gonna talk about. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Yeah.
With that much dancing in y'all system like that, how did y'all start coming up to where y'all putting the routines together and all that good stuff?
Oh man, in the back of South Lawn, man.
Yeah.
We was in the back of South Lawn, man. We go back there, we put a routine together. You had the little ladies that we knew. Everybody was back there watching us, and we'd get their opinion. What y'all think about this? Stu Baby was the first one to actually come with the dog. When you're doing the dog and to go down, he invented that on that end. And so, man, and
that was they were tearing them ladies up on that one. Yeah.
But that was smart too, because it's like to get the ladies to kind of judge, because that's universal.
Yeah.
If they like it, okay, well, that's why you say all the ladies rush to the stage, probably in the dudes back there, mean mugging or whatever.
And Bruce, Miss Maxine Lewis, she wanted us to dance, but she said, I don't want y'all to do the dog. I don't want y'all doing this and doing that. We kept saying, okay. Yeah. If that's what you like when you see this is what you're going to get. We on live TV, what you going to do? So that's how our mindset was. But didn't realize we were going to have to go back to this lady because Stu clothes didn't show up. The only thing that showed up was just the stuff that I had packed, our routine clothes. And this lady, man, she was nice enough to go buy Stu Baby an actual jacket. Right. Because it was like 0 below 15.
Oh, y'all went out there.
Yeah, man. So we was out there in February. And matter of fact, one of the winners, he came out there because he was one of the winners that was actually picked with us, So, man, we was blessed, man. From that, we opened up for a lot of people, man. We was the only dance group in Houston to actually open up for rappers.
You right, yeah. I remember when y'all, when all that was going on, man, y'all was so big in the hood, man. Cause it was like me and Murder, we was like, man, that was like a pride thing for us. I'm like, man, it's like, because like I said, as rappers, we was still, we was putting our music out, but we was still trying to get there. To see y'all up there like that, man, at that time, bro.
Yeah.
That was huge. Was you nervous? Was y'all nervous at all? You like,
man, nervous ain't the word.
Yes.
I was like, I had vertigo or something, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just because, I always get nervous, even still today.
Yeah.
And I feel like the day
when
that
it's time to preach, you still get a little nervous.
Yeah. When the day I don't get nervous, I think that's the time I need to, wrap it up.
Yeah. You know what, man? And the truth is, Joe, like, I can do certain shows and I be nervous here and there, just little nerves.
Yeah.
But sometimes I don't be nervous at all. But anytime I do something where I gotta go on like a community event where you really obligated to deal with the people, I be and I don't know why. It's like because you feel like the responsibility is greater.
Yeah,
means
more.
Right. So that's deep, man.
That's funny though. Let me ask you this, Kenny, because with that much dancing already in your system, because you can tell. I'm gonna show some clips of y'all going down while we talking. But with that much dancing in your system, and now that you saved, when that Holy Ghost come, do you ever get? Do you ever just pop out there now?
Hey, yo, dog, man. Hey. Yeah. Man, when I'm at the house, man, I hear a song, man, I be like, oh, man, let me see if I got it, baby.
Hey, but I saw you recently, I don't know how long ago, just like, the pop locking and stuff. Yeah. But, hard. I bust this out. That wasn't the worming dancing like that,
Yeah, because, man, a couple of partners, Sebastian, that still box, he go by Silverback. But most of the guys I used to dance with or dance, against, we all talking about getting together, just just doing like a not a farewell, but hey, let's see if we still got it.
Right.
So we plan on doing that pretty soon.
Did you know Lonnie Brown and all that? Yeah, Lonnie Brown, that's legendary dancer.
Hutch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Snap,
Oh,
man. Yeah, this
Snap.
he was the first. What's it? With the green eyes. Yeah. Snap, man. That boy, that was so cold.
And great on that microphone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he went to rapping. Now he makes them the little saddles. You know, so yeah, I support him.
Snap, man. We got to get Snap up here too, man. And Theology and all those guys. So when you went in, because this is your book, Mind of Faith, man. So when did this book come out, and what made you foray into the author?
Well, I was actually, the book wasn't even going to be about mine at all. The book was actually supposed to be about the generational curse that was on my family for the men. And the way that started off, it was going to be my grandfather. It was going to be a silhouette of him looking through a stand-up mirror, looking at my dad, and my dad looking through a stand-up mirror, looking at me. I'm looking through the mirror, looking at my son, and my grandson is looking at all of us. And the name of the book was called The Reflection of the Man in the Mirror. And
but you still got to do that, man.
Yeah, you ain't lying. Like, don't do that alone.
So when I came up with the Mind of Faith, man, I was in the hospital. I was diagnosed last year with prostate cancer. And I was going through a stage, you know, wasn't nervous or scared. You know, I just felt like, okay, God, if this how I'm going to go, you know, let me just be able to leave a footprint. I get to a point, man, and I'm out for 3 months from work, you know, because of the surgery. So as I'm sitting there, man, the first thing I look up, I got the mask sitting in my room on the dresser. So I'm looking at it, and I just said, God, you got to give me something. And he said, Mind of Faith. But the subtitle was called Silent Blessing. I said, well, how is this going to work? He said, well, the thing about it, silent blessings is how do you minister to people without verbally saying a word? And the way that you do it is, you know, it's through the mind. So when people ask me, why do you wear the mask instead of the makeup? The mask is stationary. Don't show no, you know, no kind of emotion or nothing. So the script says, talking about the windows, you know, the eyes are the windows to your soul. If I look at you long enough and I start crying, you be, you know what I'm saying? You know, because you can understand the emotions and the feeling. It's just like, do you remember the first time y'all heard Never Would Have Made It? Yeah, man, and it did something to you.
No doubt.
And so that's what the book is about. It's not a story telling a story, but it's about how can this book be a life changing in your life? You know, because when I look at things, I don't look at it as entertainment. I look at it as a way of moving. So I want the book to be able to show people, man, look at how strong my faith has been. Because if my faith is strong as that, what's different in you? The only thing about it, you just happen to see me on this platform. But it's so much in you that you can do.
That's a fact.
You know, when I tell people about, you know, when people say, well, man, I ain't really turning into the church, man, how did you make the change? Just be the best version of you. If you be the best version of you, you can make the change. But in our mind, we feel like, oh man, you know, God ain't gonna want this. Man, let me tell you something. God took the crooks, the murderers, and everybody. So you mean to tell me that if he did that for them, what makes you that bad? Because you wasn't as bad as Paul was.
He was murdering.
Yeah, man, that boy, that was taking the first big rock he could find. Bro, that's it. When he went in. He didn't, you know. And the people that I know, I say, how can you tell a story if you ain't never been through it?
Come on. And be believable.
Because the people that know, you know, I got a young man that's with me now, and you know, when we go into the prisons, they can relate to him because he been there. He know what it means by being locked down and saying that. I only been in and been able to come out. I had a guy. This is gonna be funny, man. This guy that came, he was, you know, legally blind. So he's holding on to my arm, and we walking. We at Wingate Unit, and they got a big old cathedral. So it's about 500 inmates. You got 2 guards in the front. That's it. But you got to walk all the way up to the front, and you got 250 inmates on both sides. So the guy, you can hear the gates closing. Pow, pow. He said, man, is there a lot of people? I said, man, yeah, we got a packed house. I said, I just came out to come get you. All right. So when we get in there, he hear all the commotion. And he said, man, how's it looking? I said, man, this is time to be blind. I said, because you don't want to see this. And man, and I remember I was miming, And the guy, Minister Brooks told me, he said, Joseph, I'm gonna let you do the opening prayer, and you go ahead and start off first. Man, I get up there, do the opening prayer, got my mask on. I tell him to cut the music on. I go to my, my little thing. And as I'm walking, I got a habit of always walking down the aisle, doing eye contact with people. Man, they had this big guy. I know he had to been almost 275, 300, Hispanic guy. But he was big, almost like
looking like Grossberg on Stir
man.
Crazy.
Yeah, man. He's sitting there. I mean, he taking up 2 seats. And man, he's sitting there, he just looking at me. And God said, I need you to go to him. And I'm looking at God. Man, like I said, man,
that's you, God?
Yeah. So as I go to the guy, and he's sitting there, he just standing there, man, but he got tattoos of fire in his head, got a big old tattoo of an eyeball. And man, God said, I need you to grab his hand. I need you to hug him. I said, come on, God. Now, and this is the first time I had to question God. I said, come on, God. I said, is there nothing else I can do besides that?
Can I wave at it, God?
Yeah. And God said, this is going to be your healing. I said, my healing? Man, when I grabbed him, the first thing came to mind was to hug him.
Yeah.
Man, and I hugged him, man, and that dude broke down.
Yeah.
And man, I was like, I was like, thank you, Jesus. After everything was over with, we get a chance to talk with him, and this old black man came and he said, man, he's one of the biggest mafias in the prison. He said, man, we thought for sure he was finna turn you everything but loose. And he said, man, for you to do that means you really touched him. He said, man, because this dude don't like nobody touching him. He came to me, man, I got his, his information, and I was writing him and stuff, but he got transferred to another unit. But man, sometimes we question God when we shouldn't be questioning him. It might seem like it ain't right to you because you don't know why. But if God put something on your heart, he put it on your heart for a reason. I'm at Denny's, me and my wife, and I could hear God plain as day say, pay for their meal. It was an older couple. I'm like, okay. I go up to the to the cashier. I pay for me and my wife, and we walk out. And God said, so you just gonna ignore me? I tell my wife, I'll be right back. She said, you finna go pay for their food? I said, yeah. Go back in there and I paid for the food, and I watched them look around try to see who paid for their food. The waitress, seeing that we were still out there, she came, knocked on the window and said, hey, I just want to tell you that you listen to God so much is that they didn't even have nothing but $3. They didn't even have enough for their food.
Oh, wow.
So, man, when you hear something and it's the Spirit of God, you don't have to question it. But we thinking, oh man, in our mind, you don't never know. It's I don't do it for the blessing. I do it because it came to me. And in the midst of when things come to you, you can't deny the word of God. But in our mindset, we so used to, man, I'm not doing this yet. We already got it in our mind what we ain't gonna do. I done seen people go to church and take the money out their pocket and put what they gonna put in the collection plate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to do all that. Give what you going to give.
Right.
Yeah.
God said he loves a cheerful giver. But most of the times we get so caught up. I don't get caught up. I don't try to put nobody out there, but I don't do numbers. And, whatever God placed in your heart to give, I'm thankful because the fact is you cheerful on giving what you want to give.
Right.
I done had people say, man, I don't have the whole $20 for your book, but I got 15 on me. Here you go, my brother.
Yeah. No doubt.
Hey, I thank you for the 15.
That's part of the look, that goes back to just the hustle. It's like so I'm gonna turn down 15 because of the 5 he don't have.
Yeah.
At the end, and sometimes do might have, hey man, go ahead, man.
Yeah.
Give me next time. Whatever. Sometimes like that's what's called the spirit moving you.
Yeah. Because like even on the back of the book, I got my Cash App. And so when people Cash App me, if they Cash App me $15 or $20, that right there goes to the next person. They say, well, what you do with the money? How you do that? No, if I'm getting cash, that's the money that I use to re-up on on whatever else I need to do. Yeah. But when they Cash App me, it's strictly for the ministry. You know what I'm saying? I don't sit there, I don't do no hiding, I don't do this and do that. Man, whatever I got for the ministry, I take that because I feel like if I got y'all coming out, I should be able to sow a seed into y'all. Because that's y'all time that y'all taking. You don't have to come out and do this here. K. Reno blessed me, man. I have a CD that's out called The Gift. I had to shut that down. I had one of the lawyers had reached out to me and was saying that the one with Blessed Child, and Bread Band.
Yeah.
The music wasn't changed enough, and they didn't want to, be
They didn't
trying
want to have no copyright situation with you.
So I said, okay, man. So I just shut the whole thing out, but I still got the CDs. It's just the fact is that I didn't want to do anything wrong. I said, so when I get ready to do it again, I know I'm gonna come to my boy and say, okay, how do I go about doing this? You know, and it was just, it was a learning situation. But the song was, that K Reno did on here was called Back Then. And if I say just like the interview going, that's what he talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before we get you out of so how is your wife doing now?
Keep her in your prayer. My wife right now, like I said, she had a stroke. My wife went from having a stroke to maybe about 3 or 4 years later, wound up having scoliosis. So now her whole spine is curved. She's on the walker. It's to a point, you never know what a person is going through. It's easy for when you see something, I know you can do this here, and you want to push them. Mentally, they mind want to do it, but their body won't allow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, man? There's times my wife was laying in bed all day, and I got to, hey, I need you to get up. I need you to move around. Won't do it. You know what I'm saying? So I can't get mad and upset when people say, man, I'm tired. I always got to go back and look at what God told me. What if I got tired?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We don't think about it. And I tell anybody, you get in any relationship or, you finna get married, take counseling. Because if you don't take counseling, man, it's so easy to get up and leave your mate.
Right.
We was in Tear Hospital when my wife first had a stroke. And I remember it was 44 of us married couples on the floor. By the time we left, it was only 10 of us that were still legally married.
Man.
What kind of counseling is this? Is this like gospel, Christian counseling or regular counseling?
Just regular counseling. Because my thing is, if I counsel that person, I can't have no type of relationship with them. If I know you, then it's a conflict of interest. So let me send you to somebody who don't know you. But if I do it, then I'm going to show favoritism. Oh, well, I know how my boy is. Then we get to that judgmental spirit. And I tell everybody, man, every last one of us has been a hater. And they say, well, how is that? How many times we know some people that's doing something and we talk about them instead of praying for them?
Come on.
We talk about them and people say, well, man, then I ain't, you're telling the truth, but this ain't the time to be talking to somebody because I got a sermon saying, looking out the window, but can't stand and look in the mirror.
Yeah.
You can look out the window and you can see everything going, and you tell them, oh man, look at that boy out here fighting and this and that.
Yeah.
But how often do you look in the mirror and see some of the stuff that you do?
Right.
I done watch people, man, go in there, wash their face, and come outside and be like, hey, man, you got something on the side of your eye. You be like, man, I just got out the mirror. You didn't stay in there long enough.
Like,
yeah.
And you didn't observe long, didn't look long enough.
Yeah, and so, man, and that's it, man. It's just, we got to do different, man, than what we're doing now. We got to show love. We got to have understanding.
That's right.
And we got to just realize, man, if you be the best person that you can be, you're already in the image of God.
That's right. Come on.
So I don't try to get deep, man. I ain't gonna sit here and tell you I know scripture by scripture, But man, my thing is, if you call me, we can work things out together. You know what I'm saying? And what I don't know, I know other people that I can call to help.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. So people say, well, how do I get your book? Go on my social media. I even give the number, to even call and say, hey man, you can call if you want it, hey, where you want to meet at? I ain't got no problem.
Cause let them know now.
Yeah.
How can we get it?
Yeah. Man, what you can do in order to get this book here called Mama Fate / Silent Blessings, what you can wind up doing is go to the social media. You can go to Facebook. When you go to Facebook, go to Joseph. Last name is Guinn, Guinn. If you want any merch, I got a clothing line that you can go to josephguinn.myspreadshop. And you go on there and you can pick all kind of stuff that I have. I got everything from onesies to water bottles, coolers, whatever you want.
You get Kickstore onesie?
Nah.
Yeah. Matter of fact, one of the shirts that K Reno got on, man, is right now, it's called Everybody's Counting on Me, but ain't nobody checking on me.
Hard.
Yeah. And so, man.
It's looking hard too.
Yeah. And so, I'm thankful, for everything that God is doing in my life. And I'm just thankful for y'all, man, for what y'all put together, because y'all allow a lot of people to come on out, man, to, you know, to tell their life story, to talk about their projects and stuff. And man, and it's an honor to be here, because I'm looking at like, man, I don't know about, man, I said it in the seat with everybody. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You just add on to one of the greats that's in the seat, because what happens is when somebody changes their life and gives their life over to God, and now all of a sudden they are no longer in the spaces that they used to be and all that. So time passes, and as time passes, people don't know your journey, your story. So they don't know the great things that you've done just culturally. Like you were part of this whole hip hop Houston scene, just being a dancer. So we bring rappers, producers, and DJs and all that, but from your lane, we never had nobody from your lane. And again, to say this real quick, when y'all came back to the hood, y'all was like, man, they did it, you know?
I remember looking at the TV and I seen the Southside hats. I got that hat.
This some 90s, this some 90s stuff. Everybody had the hat, show whatever you had. But it's just the fact that when I asked you, was you nervous? Because going on that show, not being from New York,
at that time,
you didn't get a chance a lot of the time. So to win them over is pure talent, and God was with y'all then. You know, so now, bro, we call this the legend seat. So you deservedly, exactly. Come on,
especially
man.
Because at the every night at Apollo, man, so many. That was a hood with that Soul Train.
Joe and Stu, baby. But the greatness of it is that as much as we was proud of that accomplishment, we know your biggest accomplishment is what you're doing
right now.
God, and for the people that you were saying, because you know the Apollo entertained us, but your ministry will save us. Stu, with God's blessing. So we appreciate you coming on, my brother.
I got to ask you this question, man. Long as I've been knowing you, I have never seen you without your glass. What is the purpose? What's the meaning of the glass?
Well, you know, now you from the hood, so you remember back in the days when they had the first flea market, the trading fair on 610 in Martin Luther King. You know, they used to have these lokes. That's where they started selling these like for $2 back in the day. But it went a long stretch. So back in the boomerang days and all that, boom, you know, this was us. We had lokes on. So anytime I rapped, that was like part of my thing to just, you know, bring the lokes down. But for a long time, you couldn't find these. The ones that go straight across. They either have a little dip or this part here was too big. It wasn't the real one. So I did a show in San Antonio just some years and years back, probably over 10 years ago. And we went to this other flea market and they had a shop, just a black dude got a shop full of glasses and shades. And I saw him, I'm like, man, these the original ones right here. And anytime I did a show in me and Murder One, we just go and I buy 3 or 4, 5 pairs of these just to have them. So now it goes from what I wear on stage, or if I'm in a setting like this, to now it's just my signature look. You know, where somebody can do a silhouette of me and they gonna know it's me. You know, so it's just more of a look, but also history, man. You know?
Well, I'm speaking into you, man. I really believe you're gonna have an eyeglass.
You're not the first person told me that. So, because if I can get these bad boys at a wholesale price, because remember I told you they used to be $2, they're like $8, $9 now. But if I ever get these at a wholesale price, I would absolutely do it.
We'll talk about that.
All right, let's get it on, man.
Yeah, man. But like I say, definitely, man, thank y'all both, man, for allowing me to tell my story, my testimonies and stuff. Like I say, it's so much stuff that went on, man. But like I say, I had to give y'all how it started and then how, still working, man. And I got to tell everybody, man, keep pushing, keep pressing. Don't get upset at these pastors when they make mistakes, because they're human, you know. And in the midst of it, you're not gonna like everywhere you go, man. You got restaurants you don't like, but sometimes you still go.
Still go up in there. They treat you
know what I'm
bad.
saying?
Yeah.
You know, I remember when Timmy Chance on Martin Luther King, sometimes you'll see the fella, they be like, man, come on, man.
It was like that in most cities too. Yeah, see the fella.
Stay eat around it and stuff.
And look, and guess what? On the deeper level of that, how many times we saw Timmy Chan on Marvin Zilla?
Oh man,
Slime ice machine and was right back up in that bad boy. Yeah. So it is what it is.
Let me ask you this before we get you out of here. What is your prognosis now?
Cancer free, man.
Cancer free, okay.
Yeah. Cancer free. My thing is, man, please go get yourself checked.
Yeah.
If you have not went got yourself checked, man, go and what they do, they have what they call as a PSA test, where they check your blood and check how where your levels are at. And like I say, if you do have cancer, man, it's curable. Because if you catch it early. Yeah. But a lot of times, man, we get so scared because we don't want to know. And that's the reason why you see so many guys in stage 4. I went in no stage at all, man. I did what they call a PET scan, where you lay in this big old MRI. And when you lay down, you have to have your arms up. All my cancer was on one side of my prostate. He told me there's 3 things you can do. You can either do radiation, chemo, or you can either get it removed. I said, well, let's remove it. First thing he asked me, he said, well, if I remove your prostate, are you plan on having any kids? I said, nah. He said, well, because you can't have kids once you move your prostate. I said, well, man, I got trouble with the ones I got now. Show me But, it was all out of laugh, man. When I went in, they did 6 little incisions about the size of the pinhole on your phone. And everything was done by a robot. So he was sitting like this here, doing this here, and man, the way I walked in was the way I walked out.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
No pain, don't remember even, I just remember praying with everybody that was going to be in the room. Because I told him, if I can't pray for everybody that's going to be in the room, take this out of me. And I'm just going to have to go somewhere else. But I was able to pray, man. My doctor was real cool about it, man. And by the time to do, said, let me give you a cocktail. I was able to count like one light, how they roll you, you look at that one light and say, hey, man.
Go.
So, man, go get yourself checked, man. I'm a big person on that, man. I don't want to see none of our brothers, man, pass away, man, behind prostate, man, and just be the best person that you can be, man.
Any symptoms?
And add on to that, do maintenance beforehand. Watch how you eat and things that you do before lead up to a possibility of it. Preventative maintenance is a big thing.
Definitely.
And did you have any symptoms that you could tell people to look out for,
man,
to let you know?
Using the restroom almost every hour on the hour. Man, I used to stop trying to drink just to keep from using the restroom, and I would still go to the restroom. You can use the restroom, and probably 5 or 10 minutes later, you go back. It's like you ain't never used the restroom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that with the prostate, man, it's real, real tricky, but the best way to find out is through your blood. When you go get yourself, go get like Kay was saying, go get that maintenance done. It's like a car. You ain't gonna keep running that car and that oil keep popping on.
Yeah.
You're gonna pull over and then get that oil checked. So get your oil checked, man. And in the midst of that, man, I guarantee you'll catch a lot of stuff, man, before it happened. And if you catch it before it happened, that's it, man. You're good,
You got a shot, man. Well, we appreciate you coming through, brother, and teaching us, enlightening us, and entertaining us, man, all the great things. Continued success far into the future, man. The great Joe Guinn is in the building, man. Well, it's your big brother, K. Reno.
It's your boy, Key Stove.
Underground Dialogue Podcast, where the name speaks for itself, and we are
out this man.
Thanks. What up, man? Your big brother, K. Reno, man. I'm saying this to all our Underground Dialogue Podcast soldiers. Make sure that you support our brother, Eugene Preacher Smith, in his clothing line. This brother got some of the dopest gear that I've come across, top quality stuff. I'm gonna get out the way and let him tell you about it.
254 Worldwide, it's your girl Erin. I'm from the Kids of the Future for the Future, and today I'll be introducing my dad. He is an OG and he's also a gangster. See, the reason why he ain't raised his kids to be a gangster is because they won't be love tech. Now I'll be teaching y'all a song and I want y'all to listen, because if you don't, you'll fail. If you do, you won't fail. You'll get an A. So here I go. Fifth Ward finest, lamp under my feet, keep my friend shining. Got my sister on the line, breaker 19. It's traveling season, so devil get behind me, devil get behind thee, devil get behind thee. Everything we do, God co-signing. Now guess who driving while y'all keep wildin'? We keep God smiling, that's why blessed keep piling. That's 85,000. Keep CCLIV.
254 worldwide. Welcome to CCLIV land, where we keep it 100, on strong, 365. So you know we're gonna keep it CCLIV. Hey, this is my brand that I created to be able to save our youth, to make sure they don't receive 25 years in TDC and make them eligible for 4 years of college on any level. You can find us at www.ccliv.bigcartel.com and www.keepitccliv.bigcartel.com. And we also got a manual, a handbook, where you can find that on www.amazon.com. Research CCLIV Chronicles and Guidance, and you will find it. You can find me at Facebook, Eugene Preacher Smith. Yeah, you can check me out. You can follow me on there every morning.
What up, man? It's your big brother K Reno. Look, man, my brand new album is out, man. The Industry. Y'all go get a physical copy right now. That's right, hard copy. Keep CDs alive, man. Keep the independent strong. Y'all go grab this right now from South Park Coalition site.net. It's also available on all the digital sites as well. So y'all make sure y'all go get your copy right now. If you didn't know, now you know. All right, peace. What up, man? It's your big brother K Reno. Look, man, the Underground Dialogue website is back in function. We back in motion, man. If y'all want Underground Dialogue podcast merch, whatever you need, go to undergrounddialogue.com and check us out. And always make sure that every Wednesday night, y'all are checking out the Underground Dialogue podcast right on YouTube, 9 p.m. Central Time. Yeah! What's up, man? It's your big brother K Reno, and check this out, man. The Underground Dialogue podcast is offering advertising opportunities, man. You can promote your business, you can promote your video, your song, whatever it is that you have, man. Reach out to us if you're interested in promoting on the Underground Dialogue podcast. All you got to do is email us at undergrounddialoguepodcast@gmail.com. Get it. What up, man? It's your big brother K Reno. I'm proud to announce that I'm a new brand ambassador to this new brand of clothing and shoes called Volage. Y'all make sure that y'all support this. It's already available. Houston-based company, straight out the A. Look at the quality of the packaging itself. We ain't even got to the shoes yet, man. And this is just one pair of shoes, one design. They got all kinds of dope designs of shoes that you guys can choose from. Go to volage.biz and find your order, find what you want. Wide selection to choose from, male and female items, and I'm proud to be a part of it, man. Community workers, versatile products, Volage, manufactured in Italy. Look at the quality of this box, man. Y'all don't know what it is, man. Catch y'all later on.